This started.
I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad to be back. I did not intend to be gone last week after my retreat in Greece. So we're going to start up with that. Usually when I get back from a retreat, I usually have a little piece of inspiration that I kind of run with. And so I'm going to share that with you. First of all, the retreat that we did in Greece was on an island called Amorgos. I had never heard of Amorgos. I've heard of Santorini. I've heard of Mykonos. I've heard of the more touristy places. But when this was designed, I trusted the company that had set it up. I researched the island enough and the hotel enough, and I knew it was going to be a pristine place, and went ahead and booked it. Little did I know, because I've traveled a lot around the world. Little did I know, Greece is a little complicated. We had already booked our flights, and then a month before the retreat, we were given the information that the ferry we needed to take, because there's no airport on the island of Amorgos. So we needed to fly into Santorini and then ferry over. Little did we know there was only one ferry a day, and our flights didn't coordinate. So you had to redo the whole thing, which cost more money, which was annoying. And to make a long story short, we ended up flying into Athens for a night just to see the ruins, and then we went on to Santorini at the ferry. When we got over to Amorgos, well, actually on the way, on our journey, discovering in Athens, discovering in Santorini, when we talked to any of the locals, they were pleasantly surprised, and their eyes would light up, and they're like, "You're going to Amorgos? How do you know about Amorgos? That's the local favorite island." So I'm sharing the secret with you guys in case you ever want to go to Greece. Go to Amorgos. That's the local favorite. It's very authentic. It's not touristy at all. The only tourists that were there was us and the people staying in the hotel. It was the only hotel on the whole island, or that nice of a hotel on the whole island. This island only had 2,000 people, 20,000 goats. A lot of goats, just running wild. You know, some of them had their, what do you call it, cowbells on, you know, so some of them were owned by farmers and fed by farmers, and some of them were just out on their own. Anyway, there was no hospital on the island. There was 2 policemen on the island, probably 2 firemen on the island. We only saw 2, and they were like, "Yep, that's our fireman right there." It was interesting. One vet for the whole island, several different villages. And anyway, so when we got there, it was nice that there wasn't tons to do. Because after going through this pandemic for a couple years, and I hadn't been to the beach in 3 years, it was really nice to go to a location where we weren't going to be on the go and off adventuring and exploring the whole time. It was actually nice to go somewhere where it's like, okay, we can have beach time. Okay, we can have spa time. Okay, we can have pool time. And just relax, like truly, truly relax. And all of us really needed that. But there was one day where we decided we would hire a driver, a bus, and a guide, and take off on an island tour. And so on that island tour, we hit a few places. One was one of the older villages that actually had a shopping strip, which was really funny. It was like 5 stores. And we found out that most of the people actually either ferried or flew off the island to shop, because there's not a lot of shopping there. And so we went to that village, we went to a different beach that was a little less accessible for us, and then we went to a monastery. So that's what I want to tell you about. The monastery was built over 1,000 years ago, and it was dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Now, it was built on the side of the cliff that came right to the seashore. And it was 8 stories. You know, and it was, you know, they had embedded themselves into the stone, into the rock of the mountain. So it wasn't like it was like a building. I mean, it was literally kind of etched into the landscape. It took 300 steps to go up to the top. And one of the ladies that joined us had not had 1, not 2, but 3 heart surgeries in 2020. And so me and a couple other ladies stayed back with her because she needed to monitor her steps and her heart rate and her blood pressure. And we just took our time, which was really nice. Because if you've ever been on a tour with a guide, right, you kind of hustle. And it was like, we're not hustling. We all came for this monastery, and we're taking our time. And it's going to take time to get up these steps. And it worked out. It was great. We had a fantastic guide. Anyway, by the time we got up to the top, oh my goodness, it was so gorgeous to see. And then she started telling us a few of the stories. So since I'd done this retreat in Greece, I decided to make it a themed retreat, myths and mantras. And so every morning I would share Greek myths and I would compare them with some of the Hindu myths. And then we would bring the story to life in the practice. So I'm going to share a few of the stories behind the monastery. So the story goes that a different monastery, where these monks had originally stemmed from, had been under attack. And they had taken their most prized possession, which was this iconography. It was this painting of the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus, and he was reaching up to her face. It was beautiful. And they had plated the whole thing in silver. The only thing that wasn't plated in silver was Mary's face. And you could still see the design of the painting through the silver. Well, it was a prized possession. It was highly valuable. Well, they took that prized possession and then took off on the ship. They were trying to escape. While they were trying to escape, a pirate ship shows up. The pirates are going to take over the monk ship. And so somehow, I don't know if it was through the fighting or if it was to try to save it. Anyway, the painting fell overboard. When it fell overboard into the ocean, it split in half. The monks were devastated. They didn't have their valuable piece anymore. And then they were on this kind of together in one piece, and it landed on the shore of Amorgos. And when it got back to them that it was discovered, and it was found, and it was in one piece, they were like, it's a miracle. So it became even more valuable because now this Virgin Mary painting could create these miracles. And so they decided this is a miracle that this is even back together. It's a miracle it's even been found. We feel like the monastery has to be built on the island. That's the sign. So they went to the island, reclaimed their prized possession, and they started to climb up the cliff. How they climbed it, I have no idea. But about 900 feet up, they found an old rusted pick, a pick that they had used in ancient times for construction. They took that as a sign from Mary, a sign from God. This is where it needs to be built. And so they started to build a monastery. Well, the monastery had to be protected from the pirates. In fact, this particular island, before all the buildings were whitewashed, the three villages that were the original populous areas were not at the seashore. They were back a ways because of pirates, because pirates were the nuisance. And the reason why all these Greek island villages have all these labyrinths, I don't know if you've been or if you've seen the pictures, there's all these different labyrinths, very confusing. It was done on purpose to confuse the pirates. Before they were whitewashed, they were just like stone and whatever materials they used that would blend in with the earth, that would blend in with the natural elements, so they could be camouflaged. And one village we went to, there was this big stone at the very middle of the city. The whole city was wrapped around this area. And it had like a tower attached to it. And all the women and children would rush up to the tower, and the men would protect the women and the children from the pirates for all their looting and stealing or whatever they were doing. So that was fascinating to discover. So the monastery had to protect itself because it was actually visible, even though it was on this cliff. There was no door. There were tiny little windows. And at the very top of the monastery that went to the top of the mountain, there was like a drawbridge from the inside. So only the monks could control it to open and to close from the inside. So obviously, thousands of years have passed, and they've created it where they've got stairs going up to it now, and they have a tiny little door. And I had noticed on all the other Greek Orthodox churches and chapels, that's all that was on that island, every single one had a tiny door. It's like Alice in Wonderland, we have to duck down. And they said, that's because the monks want to make you realize how small you are when you're going into this place of reverence. I was like, oh, okay, there's some reason and symbology behind that. next story goes, there was pirates that had discovered this monastery is here. They were going to attack it. They wanted to steal that valuable painting. And the saying goes that they called upon Virgin Mary to perform another miracle. And when the captain stepped off the ship, he turned into stone. And there's two, when you're looking from the monastery out to the water, there's two big rock formations out coming up from the sea. They said those two were the actual pirate ships that were coming up. And I swear one of them kind of looked like a pirate ship. We were looking like, really? Like, where's this myth come from? Like, where's this story coming from? But anyway, one of them did kind of look a little ship-like. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But what I want to say about the door, making yourself small. This is a spiritual practice, and it's an ancient practice. It's an art, it's a science, but it's also a spiritual practice. So when we do yoga and meditation, the yogic idea is to not play small, okay? The yogic idea is tap into yourself and get empowered. Tap into yourself and find your strength. Tap into yourself and find your worth and your value. Go inside yourself and find the beauty and the skill set that you have. Make sure that you're tapping into your light body, into your energetic body, into your spiritual soulful self, and be larger than life. And be the light. Be that beacon. Don't play small. Okay, so I'm going opposite of what they were doing with the small door. Yes, be humble. Yes, have reverence. Yes, have respect. But realize we are made in that image, and we are supposed to be empowered, and we're creators. So own it. And that's what I want you to tap into after hearing that story. So let's start on our backs. We're going to come down to the back of the legs more open, and the hands resting on the belly. Close your eyes. As you close your eyes, I want you to begin some mindful breath work. Being grateful for the breath of life, what sustains our life, what gives us with life force energy. We're going to work with this as we move and shape the body. And equally, as we calm and clear the mind, and open and expand our hearts. So let this breath work be medicinal. Feel the belly expanding as you breathe in, falling in as you breathe out. Continue to maintain the reins of the breath as we continue to explore this practice. Remembering in any quieter moments to practice Swanyaya, which is self-study and self-inquiry. On your next in-breath, let's go ahead and bring the feet closer together. And then fly the right leg skyward. And you're going to hook your hands behind it. Now you may just have a light hold. I want you to focus on your left leg first, the one that's still stationed down. Push up through your left heel, fly up through the left toes, and contract your quads, firing into the left leg. And now push the sole of the right foot higher towards the ceiling. Spread the toes nice and wide to see if you can see the ceiling in between each one. Test the waters here. You might be able to slide your hands up to your calf. You might be able to take the peace mudra around the big toe. There's no right or wrong, good or bad here. Just see what's accessible without force and where the breath is still openly flowing. Now that we've activated and opened up the hamstrings here a little bit, go ahead and release your hands and then gently lower the right foot all the way down. And then inhale, sew the left leg up. Hook your hands behind the thigh. And now fire into your right leg, bringing in that dorsiflexion. And then go ahead and lift higher through the sole of the left foot, spreading open through the toes. Feel how when you activate the feet, it actually helps to activate the muscles up through the leg. And then feel free to test the waters. Each side's different. You may be able to do more. You may have to do less. And just honor where you are. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. And then on your next out breath, go ahead and release the left foot all the way down. Now you're going to take your hands, I'm going to stand up so you can see this. You're going to take your hands to create kind of a diamond shape underneath your seat, where the tailbone's kind of in that midpoint or the open area. And we're going to do double leg lifts. So point your toes, creating a plantar flexion of the feet, and sail the legs upward. Flex the feet and then lead with your heels as you lower slowly towards the ground. Try to hover if possible to activate the core more. Point your toes. Inhale, pike the legs up. Exhale, flex the ankles and lower slowly downward. So continue with those double leg lifts. This is a good strengthener for the hip flexors as well as the lower set of the abdominals. Do one more. And then once you release the feet down, release your hands from underneath you. You're going to fly both legs up so the feet are hovering a few inches above the floor. And then you're going to shoot your arms forward, scooping through the belly so you're coming into more of a canoe type shape. So firing into the belly, take one more deep breath. And then see if you can lift up to a half navasana, half boat. Gazing towards the toes of the Adho tradition. Make sure you're activating the core muscles, not just the hip flexors. Now crisscross the ankles, bring your hands down, lean forward into your hands. See if you can possibly bump up using upper body strength and come into your second navasana. So if you're feeling like, I don't know about core work this morning, use your hands to help. Releasing the hands will make you be more dependent on the core, that you may not be ready for that yet, and that's okay. So be honest, be real. Crisscross the ankles, we're gonna do it one more round, pumping up, sitting back down on the sits bones, flying the feet up. Now this is the half boat. If you want to take it to full boat, you can. But I thought since it's earlier, we could do half. And then affirm internally to yourself, within every breath is infinite power. Now bring the feet together, lower them down. We're going to open the hips as part of our warm-up. Span the feet open, and then slowly lean out over your feet. Try to keep as much of a straight back as possible so that you can feel the work in the inner thighs, the growing area, as the hips rotate open. Find your edge where it is in the now. And then affirming mentally within, secure myself, I accept whatever it is. On your next in breath, gently back away from Konasana. You're gonna separate your feet. Your heels may actually have to lift for this, and that's okay if they do. So you're gonna shift forward, away from your seat, coming into Malasana squat. Hands can come to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart. But what we're gonna do is invest in the length of our back here. So what you wanna do is try to elongate the spine, try to uplift through the breastbone, and try to rise up to the crown of your head. Notice the difference it makes in the hips. Maybe looking straight ahead with your eyes, setting that drishti. Bring the fingertips down to the floor, spinning the heels right behind the toes, straightening out through the legs, and hinging over from the hips. Just drape your upper body. And then just kind of move your head around, just gently, just slowly, maybe side to side, or forward and back. Just to loosen, neutralize the neck. Your sits bones are on the rise, the back of the knees are expanding. Forward folds are about releasing and letting go. Forward folds can also bring in that state of humility and reverence. It can help us to become more internal, more introspective. Now gently begin to heel toe the feet more towards each other, folding into your first Uttanasana. Now we've already gently opened up the hamstrings with that floor work at the start. We even did a wider stance before we brought the feet closer together. And notice how it becomes a little bit more intense. You'll have plenty of time to open up this more. Let's begin to flow. Sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Feel free to come to upward worship if that feels okay for your neck. And then exhale, bring hands down towards. All right, let's take it over. Inhale, arms reach up over. Exhale, swan dive forward and down to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen out halfway. And then exhale, gently drape back down. On your next inhale, step your left foot back. When you step that left foot back, I want you to come to the tips of your fingers here. So you're going to actually lift the head and the heart up like you're doing a little cow tilt. Your back thigh and hip may sag here. And on the out breath, you're going to push heavy through the front foot. You're going to scoop into the belly and create a calf stretch back. And then inhale to cow in your lunge. And exhale to cats in your leg. One more inhale. Maneuvering through the vertebrae. Exhale, round it out. Inhale to that regular lunge, flatten the palms if possible, step back, length. Exhale, rock forward from the feet, lower down to chaturanga like a low push-up. And then inhale, rise and down. Exhale, roll back into down dog. When you arrive to downward facing dog, let's focus on the foundation first. The hands and the feet. Stretch long through your arms, open up space in your spine, and fly your sits bones higher. Drink from the breath of life. On your next inhale, we're going to bring that left foot to the top of the mat. Make sure that the foot is flat. Your knees lined over the ankle, and then come to the fingertips and begin the cat-cow. Opening on the in-breath and rounding on the out-breath. Take your time, going back and forth between these two positions. Putting emphasis in your spine, but noticing what else it affects. And then come back to the lunge, springboard the back foot forward, lift up halfway on the right, look out with your eyes. Good, exhale, lower. Inhale, all the way to the top. And exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. In and halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, close back in. Inhale, left foot, so you step on back. This time you're gonna ground your left palm and you're gonna sweep the right arm, pat it up towards the heavens. Exhale, you're lowering the right hand down. Inhale, you're turning back into the twist. And exhale, release the right arm. One more, inhale, hold it at the top. Spread the fingers wide, energize those fingers, pluck up your back knee. Exhale, land your right hand, right foot plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to a back bend, open the heart. And exhale, rock and roll back. Being and breathing here. Feel as though your body's creating the shape of a mountain. Strong, powerful, stable, grounded. Inhale, left foot steps through. Right palm flattens down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, take it down. Use that Ujjayi breath. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale, hold at the top. Hamstrings lift to the sky. Find a comfortable position for your neck. Set your gaze. Concentrate. Now lower the left. Step the back foot forward. Lift up halfway. And exhale, bow out. So pause here for a moment. Remembering the tiny door, but also remembering what I said about the yogic idea of recognizing we are important. We are enough. And affirming here as you hold, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're doing core work today, guys. I know it's not my favorite either. Inhale, arms reach. Just giving you a forewarning. Exhale, hold. Inhale, we're taking chair, arms lift. Activate those transverse abdominis muscles all across your abdomen. Exhale, swing the arms back from halfway down. Inhale, chair again. Good, exhale, this time bring the hands down, step back, plank. All right, from plank position, we're bringing the right knee in towards the right side of the chest without rounding. And then step back. Left knee comes towards the left side of the chest without rounding. Good, and steps back. Again, right knee in, step back. Left knee in, step back. One more to each side. Once you're in plank, hover the right foot, press back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Inhale, flying plank. Shoulders resurface over the hands. Good. Exhale, fly the right leg up and back. Once more, inhale, flying plank. Exhale, one-legged down dog. Good, come forward, full plank, both feet on the ground. Left foot lifts. Flying plank. Exhale, push back. Scissor the legs. Good, come forward, plank. Arms restacking, bones over bones. Good, lengthen back. One-legged down dog. One more round. Good, now bring both feet down as you reform plank. Rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, spread open through the belly as you open the heart. Exhale, roll back, down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Returning to a forward fold. Calm and cool down. Hopefully you feel the heat you were generating with some of the core work. Inhale to the top. Exhale back in. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms, chair, activate the core. From Utkatasana, palms face each other. Exhale, lean forward, arms sway back. You got it. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, this time when we come down, the hands come to the floor. We walk it out. Plank. All right, from our plank, the right knee is going to cross over to the left arm and step back. Left knee crosses to the right arm. Good, step back. Keep that going, but not too fast. Three sets. Once you reform plank, right foot afloat. Press back, one-legged down dog. Inhale, flying plank. Good, exhale, sail back. Set of three, one more. This time when you come forward, plank, land your right foot, elevate your left. 3 rounds. Pressing back away from the hands, you breathe in. As you breathe out, coming back towards a plank. You got it. 2 more. Land your left foot. Take the vinyasa or child's pose. If you need a child's pose, be there an extra breath or more. And now return to down dog. We're all going to walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. Hover over the lower body. Flip your hands open if they touch the floor, unless you're holding your elbows. Inhale to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. We got some more core work. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. And we tend to carry that in our back, but carry the support here in the belly. Exhale, hinge and fold halfway down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back plank. Oh boy, work core. All right, so this time, right knee in, nose towards knee, we're rounding out. And then step back, plank, head up. Good, left knee in, cheetah, round it out. Step back, plank, lift the head up. 2 more to each. You can also do this from tabletop if it's too much. And then once you reform plank, right leg lifts. Press back. And then come forward plank. 2 more of those. So it may not feel like core work here, but it is. Bring the right foot down, let the left foot hover. 3 rounds here. Next time you come forward plank, take that vinyasa. And how about we all take a child's pose? So just reflect back for a moment, because that Swadhyaya also is self-reflection. We reflect back on that sequence we did. We were just bringing the knee to the chest. where we're crossing the knee to the underside of the belly to the opposite arm. And then we were building it up into the cheetah. And how even core work we're still involved with the hovering plank and the one-legged downward facing dog. Notice as you lay over your lap, what is your heart rate like? If it's speeding up or racing, control your breath to slow it down. Your mind is racing. Same principle applies. Control and slow down the breath. The wheels of the mind slow down as well. On your next in-breath, stretch your arms out. Rock up and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to start to change this up a little bit. All right, walk the feet slightly closer together. Inhale, set the right leg up. And then step the right foot all the way forward between your hands. Fly the arms up to crescent. Exhale, sail over like we did in chair. Arms reach back. Inhale, soar up. This time when we come over, we're not going to go as low because we're going to push off with the left foot. And we're going to fly. Now on Amorgos, the only birds I saw were seagulls. There weren't many trees. So we're going to be like the seagull. But when you're ready, you're going to bend your right knee and swoop down like you're about to drop into the ocean. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, flap your wings. Feel as though you're touching the water surface. And come back. Do that like 3 times. Then drop the left foot back. Reach the arms up overhead. Pausing here in crescent. Chin parallels the earth. Bring the hands down. Step it back, down dog. Walk the feet slightly closer. Elevate your left leg. Step that foot through. Now you know the sequence. We're coming up to crescent. Find your balance and stability. When you're safe, fold. Sweep the arms back. Inhale, build up. Exhale, we're not going as low because we want to take flight. We may need to stay here. You may want to mimic the seagull. Yogi's choice. Then right foot back, arms reach up, stabilize, breathe. Exhale, hands down. Back foot steps to the front. Hold over. Sweetly surrender without belittling yourself. And then inhale, expand and lift up. Bring those blessings down to the heart. All right, we get to do that one more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. In and halfway lift. Out and lower the head and heart. All right, if you want a vinyasa, this will be the last opportunity. Otherwise, step back to down dog. I want to give you that chance in case you felt like you were energized enough. Once you return to down dog, slim the distance between the big toes. Inhale, fly the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Coming up to your crescent. Now this is going to change just a little bit, okay? We're going to start off the same, folding, spreading the arms. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, taking flight. You can choose to be airplane. You can choose to be that seagull. And then slowly, stay stationed on the right foot. Bring the left knee forward. Arms reach up. Balance. Breathe. Ready? Left leg back, arms spread open. This time drop your hands and left foot. Right foot plank. If you want that vinyasa, take the opportunity or take down dog. Slim the distance between the big toes. We got one more side. Left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot through. Coming to your crescent. Go forward, arms to the sides. And then inhale, arms up to spread the face. When you're ready, soar. Find some smooth air, airplane, or flap your wings. Steady on the left leg, right knee comes through, arms lift up. You can also hold that right knee. Notice core work even here. Instead of stepping back, I'm going to lower the right foot. And the arms up. Whew, I'm out of practice of teaching, so I normally don't get out of breath. So, this is what I want you to do. If you have a block, you're going to take it to the corner of your mat on the left side. Okay. Take the foot and kind of tap it on the inside, but then slide it and walk it back. Pretty good distance, 12 to 18 inches away. Right, because we're going to be using this eventually to help us. Okay. So this is, I'll show you really quick what we're going to do so you have a visual. We're going to start off holding the inside of the foot, taking dancing Shiva. But then watch my back hand. We swap the hold of the foot. We bring this hand down to stabilize. And you may have to stay here, or you might be able to roll open to sugar cane. Okay, similar to half moon, but different. And then to come out, let go of the foot, bend the standing leg, safely come down, and then safely come up. Okay. All right, stabilize that left foot and leg. Tuck the bones of the joints. Pick up the right foot, hold the big toe side. Left arm sails up. Dancing Shiva. Swish the back hand, land your left hand. Be here, looking down, or open to sugar cane to the right. Sweet, release the back hand, softly bend the left knee, softly land the right foot, and then come up. You guys rocked that. That was really cool. Okay. You can swap the block if you just have one. Take it to the right side. Set that foot forward, slider, set it back. You want that block to the outside of the pinky toe. Okay. Any questions? I mean, you guys had it. This is where I wish I had someone who done it, because that was so beautiful. All right, broaden the base of the right foot. Hold your left. Reach the right arm. When you're ready, dance the Shiva. Switch the back hand, land your right hand, look down, or roll open to your left. This is our climax today. All right, release the back hand, bend the right knee, softly step the left foot down. Up. Okay, separate your feet. Earn that one. Bend the knees, come on down, squat. All right, this is a little fun transition. We're gonna roll back, catch the feet, happy baby. You're so close to the ground, trust yourself. It's a little core work too, to roll back with that state of ease. You're holding the shins of the feet, the legs are open. And then think about really grounding the low back. Because lots of times it'll kind of curl up away from the floor. This is one of the poses where we actually do and can pull with the arms a little bit. So it's okay to pull the feet down, which will drive the knees down, which will be deeper pivots. Let's hold it 3 more breaths. Now we're cooling down. As you exhale, release the feet. Land the feet to the floor, roll to the right side, and then build yourself up to sit. Now, not everyone may have a bolster, and that's okay. Don't worry about it if you don't. I'm going to show you from this angle first. Basically, you're setting up for like a half pigeon. So your right shin's in front of you, knee and heel kind of in alignment with your hip. So check that out. Lots of times I'll see this or this, but you want it to be framed with your hips. Okay, I'm going to turn this in up. We're going to take, if you have a bolster, don't worry if you don't. You don't have to get up. Take it to your right side, your right hip. The first thing we're going to do is fold over the lap. So once you have the bolster set up, you can crawl the hands forward. Feel free to spill all the way down to the brow if that's accessible for your body. But just know that you're trying to pay attention along the way. Because just because we can't doesn't always mean we should. For instance, yesterday, back to teaching after not teaching for a week, and even though I could go all the way to the floor, I felt like I really needed it halfway down. That's why we're paying attention the whole time. Close the eyes, soften your jaw, soften your face, and soften your belly. Doesn't need to be engaged anymore. On your next in breath, back it up. This is where we're gonna lift to the ground and twist to the right. Now, if you don't have a bolster, it's no problem. You can come down to your forearms and actually feel really great. I actually like this just as much. You can also use a bolster to lower down and take rest. And you can land on either cheek, left or right. So this is a different twist than what we sometimes do, even though it's similar, right? We have our legs in a different position. So notice how you're still gaining and opening in your right hip. And it's not solely about the twist. Sometimes it is, with a different leg position. Check in with your breath rate. Develop a smooth rhythm to the breath. Slide the hands closer, push down to the palms to come up. Can't stay too long or you won't want to get out. And then we're gonna swap the legs. Taking that half pigeon and maybe setting up that bolster to the left. Again, you don't even need the bolster. You can use forearms. Lift up energetically at first, crawl the hands out. And notice along the way, where do you feel the greater sensation? The greater sensation may be halfway instead of all the way. Where can we cut through some of this in meditation? Where can we let go of some of this holding? Sometimes we're just clinging to a thought, and that's what needs to be let go. Sometimes it's clinging to an emotion that we need to transmute and get beyond. Not always physical. Slowly back away. And then twist to the left. Coming down to forearms. If you're not using a prop, if you are using a prop, go ahead and turn to the opposite cheek than you were residing on before. If you're using your forearms, it's going to be a little bit more active, a little bit more sensation. If you're letting go, you'll still feel some sensation, but it's more relaxing. So just plummet your weight onto that pillow. Let it support you. Slide your hands in, slowly come up. I want you to have Shavasana too. So I'm going to set it up this way. You can set it up however you like. I think it would be nice today to have that bolster blocked, holding the bolster up like this, so that your legs can drape over, and you can be more flat on your back. Very supportive for the knees. It's also very supportive for the back, especially if you have some lower back issues. So I want you to drop in, because these poses were helping us to be more rooted in ourselves, to be more connected to our physical form. When we're more connected to the physical form, we tend to be more in our hearts and less in our head. The heart is considered the seat of soul. We tap into that soulful side of ourselves. We experience the vastness, the largeness, the expansiveness, the infinite part of ourself that is full of potentiality. We recognize there's infinite possibilities. Look inside and see what makes us as individuals great and unique. So seek and find that peace now. Relaxing breath, stretch the arms overhead. To exhale, put both knees into your upper body. Just lightly hold your shins. Roll off the right side. Find a comfortable seat. Close the eyes. Tuning in. Hopefully feeling a positive shift somewhere, some way. Draw your hands together. Gratitude for this practice and for this space provided for us to practice. The light within me honors and bows to the beautiful radiant light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste. Showing up today. Have a beautiful rest of your week. If I don't see you again,